Welcome home. We are WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're positively taking the Maryland Crab Cake Tour on the road. I'm putting together an oyster tour for September. Don't tell anyone. My friends at the Maryland Lottery know all about that. We'll be giving away the Pac-Man scratch-offs this week. I've got such a long list of we're starting at Fadley's this Friday, but then we're doing like Coco's, we're doing Costas, we're doing new things at Cooper's and at Slancha for Fleet Week. So check it all out at Baltimore Positive. I'll get it out on my social media as well. Also brought to you by our friends at Liberty Pure Solutions, where they keep my water clean, and Jiffy Lube Multi-Care. A lot of sports this week. I took a little downtime. I was out in Las Vegas hobnobbing with all of Bill Cole's friends around the pool. And then I took my Pearl Jam time in LA. I took my Rolling Stones time with my wife in New York. And we're back just in time this week to, on Saturday, I participate in a pretty special event. My wife and I had participated in this event 10 years ago this month. When Lee Tessier was named Man of the Year for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, LLS, and they've wanted me to. I've assured them I am not Man of the Year material, but they said now we've changed this now to Visionary of the Year. So I had a lot of folks on during a cup of Super Bowl back in February talking about that. I was the MC. I don't know if they'll have me back or not because they saw my work at the Junior Visionaries a few months ago. We had a great night. I even shaved up. I didn't wear a tuxedo that said black tie optional. I took that as optional, and I didn't go black tie, but I look pretty good. My wife's going to look great on Saturday night downtown at the Renaissance, and Cate Paris is going to look great, and she looked great a month ago when I saw her at Accelerent. I'm a part of a big networking thing. She's a part of it, and we sort of talked for a minute, and then I'm like, the event's this week. I need to promote the event, and then I realized who better to promote the event than somebody that's actually doing some karaoke thing here this week. He probably wants me to come and donate and make it rain up in there for my karaoke skills. But I kid, but this is a very serious thing. And my wife's a two-time leukemia survivor. So Cate, I am pleasured to have you aboard here to inform me as to why you would kick my butt had I got into this thing, because they tried to get me into this. But congratulations on your participation. You showed up on my LinkedIn line trying to get me out doing things this week. So this is an important week. You're going to spike the ball this week and win this thing Saturday, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
Well,
Yeah. And thanks so much for having me on your show.
how did you get involved in this? I mean, this LLS, because they tried to wrestle me in, and I'm like, I'm not the visionary material, but you network with a lot of folks. I see you from month to month with some awesome people. Congratulations on getting involved in this, because I know it's important to you if you've driven it this far the last few months.
Yeah, no, and again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share about this campaign. The Visionaries of the Year campaign is a philanthropic competition, so to speak, where any number of candidates, they call us, who are movers and shakers out and about, have a vast network of people, do what they can to spread awareness, to raise awareness and funds. And I've never, beyond running the odd 5K and contributing and donating to friends' causes, I've never really just dove in completely to accomplish such an amazing thing. So it was one of those when I was approached by my friend Karen Cherry, who had done it last year, saying that she thought I would be great for this. And I think everybody's first instinct when someone asks them to do something out of their comfort zone or that isn't easy or convenient, the first instinct is to say no and then come up with some reason to justify that. So for
I don't have
me,
the time. I don't have the.
it's very easy. Like, I don't like asking people for things. What if people don't like me anymore? Like, there are lots of reasons to say no. And that is initially why I said yes, was because how can you say no to something so noble and that will help so many people? And
Well, I
that's
said
initially how I got
no.
involved.
I said no because I knew what it was going to entail. But
Yeah.
I said, look, I'll help Cate. I'll help other folks running. I help some of the junior folks. I actually saw some of the junior folks recently over at NDP in a show. So I get to meet people in the community and being a part of this. And even Lee Tessier, when he won 10 years ago, and my wife was literally bald in the battle, very sick, about to undergo transplant 10
Yeah.
years ago. It's very emotional for my wife. And I know we're going to come down this week and it's a party, and there's a purpose and there's a great cause.
Yeah.
And they also, bring people like you together to do things like my radio show to promote the how and the why. Do you have a leukemia lymphoma story in your family? I think we all do, whether we
Yeah.
realize it or not.
Well, and it's not in my family. And I should mention, as I say, it's very easy to say no to things. And I said yes, that sometimes, the world just needs somebody to drive that focus and allow people the opportunity to help in their own way and how they are capable of helping. And that's how I tried to make my campaign be. So my entire campaign is dedicated to, inspired by a friend of mine, Jim Buckley. And he, back in 78, when he was 16 years old, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And back then, before treatments had advanced to where they are today and still advancing, his only treatment option was for his entire torso area to be blasted with radiation, which for a 16-year-old is terrifying. And also, there are just so many implications and things. His health was impacted severely. He's been diagnosed with cancer 5 other times since then. And doctors believe that that initial radiation and chemo treatment really contributed to that. So my focus for the last 10 weeks has been educating people about LLS's mission pillar of research. They also advocate for patients. They also support patients and their families. But the research that they drive and support is what really is advancing all of those treatments, making them more precise, more effective, less devastating to the people that they're helping, and hopefully someday finding a cure.
Man, people come up every day, especially when I was in Vegas last week for the big Maryland event that Howard Perlow put on. And my wife wasn't with me for a couple of days. And when she's not with me, the first thing they'll say is, "How's your wife? How's your wife? How's your wife?" And what I will tell them, she's great. She's in the other room. She's engineering and doing what she's been doing for 32 years for Verizon all these years. But the devastating part of the chemo in the aftermath, and it has been 10 years and 2 transplants for my wife, is that like all parts of your body sort of dry out and her eyes don't make tears, right? So
Yeah.
she has special glass prosthetics that, I mean, these are the after effects of, is she alive? Yeah. Is she happy? We're getting there. You were all, but
Yeah.
being here, but all of these treatments come at a cost, in a lot of ways, and financial, spiritual, all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm embarrassed, Cate, because when I brought you on, I thought I know Cate a little bit through Accelerant. I know we talked a little bit to ever. I wonder if she can talk about these LLS issues. You're talking about it better than I am. I mean, you've done a lot of research on this. And how many events have you done? And when you decided to dive in, because they had my arm behind my back at Costas. I swear it was the holidays. I almost gave in. And I said,
You're
no,
crying, begging.
someone way more visionary like Cate Paris is probably going to be the person to do this. When did you decide to get in? And give me the pathway, because you are doing an event this week that, as long as I run this before Thursday night, some folks can come out and participate, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had some fun with it, but it's a fast-paced, very quick campaign where the 4 of us competing this year, we all really knew that we were doing this at the very, very end of February, beginning of March, and the campaign started on March 21st. So going into this,
So
I
it's a
did not.
2-month campaign. Is that
Yeah,
is that
it's a
what? Okay,
10-week campaign,
10
very
weeks. Okay.
fast paced. And moving into it, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be doing this. I hadn't prepared for a year and lining things up. So I ran mine in such a way as, how can I make it so easy for people to donate? And I got creative while also educating them. So I did a partnership with Krispy Kreme, where now through June 1st, which is the end of the campaign, people can use a link through my website to order virtually a dozen donuts, and half of all of those dozens will be donated back to LLS. And I also paired up with Jimmy John's for a couple of weeks doing things. And I had this huge Fire Wings and Icebreaker event at Guilford Hall Brewery, where I brought in 5 executives, and kind of like the show Hot Ones, I asked them stupid icebreaker questions as they ate consecutively hotter and hotter wings. And all of
I'm
that
out on
was
that, by
fun.
the way. I mean, I saw that thing and I'm like, look, I like the Guilford people. I like beer. I like being in a city.
It
I don't
was
do spicy. I used to
fantastic
do
fun.
Buffalo Wild Wings every Monday night. For
Yeah.
years. I emceed this thing at halftime where we would do, give them $50 in free wings or something. And I'd see dudes crying and like the milk after. No, 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 no.
Yeah, people were describing getting like the sweats like right here on their
Man, if I
face, but
feel for you,
your
I'll write you a
answers get more
check. I'll
real.
I'll donate. I donate time. I do all sorts of things, but like I don't do indigestion. No, I don't do hangovers. I don't do indigestion, nothing like that. But so
Yeah.
you're doing a thing this week though, correct?
Yes, on Thursday, Waltz Inn in Baltimore, the historic, iconic karaoke bar, which is under new leadership. The owners of the Hippodrome purchased it. They are allowing me to bring in my rowdy friends and have a karaoke night. And we're doing fun things like for $20, you can spin the karaoke wheel, and we'll have pre-selected fun fan favorite songs that you can then sing. Or if you've got places to be, or you just really, really, really want to get on that stage, you can donate to LLS to get bumped up in the list or to sing next. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I mean, you mentioned Pearl Jam earlier. Black is a great karaoke song. I'm just saying.
Okay, so there's a couple of things here at work. First off, the show I saw, they didn't play Black. It was a great night. It was good. No corduroy, no Black, no Better
Oh,
Man. It's fine when you see Pearl Jam. I saw night one, not night two. We're only gonna get one night here in Baltimore at CFG Bank Arena.
yeah.
So a couple things. Waltz in. So let me say this out loud. So my stepfather's name was Walter, like Walt Karzak was his name, Walt. So down in Canton, when you're rolling in the backside of Canton, it's on the corner, and
Yeah.
it's a literal Canton corner bar, right?
Yeah.
And it's right on O'Donnell. And but it's funny because it's WALT apostrophe as Waltz,
Yes.
Walters in, and then there's waltz in. Like, do you want to waltz like a European waltz, like
Yeah. Like how I choose to
WALTZ?
dance whenever I go out dancing,
Correct.
waltzing.
Like we can
Like,
waltz into the bar. Now, here's
yeah.
the crazy thing. In the last 72 hours, I booked you onto the show without realizing your karaoke thing was at Waltz Inn. I saw it and I'm like, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
My best friend, one of my best friends in the whole world, but he lives in Arkansas now. He's lived there for 25 years. It had to do with Bill Clinton and a library and stuff like that. He lived above Waltz Inn during our drinking stage when
Oh
Nacho
my
Mama was
gosh.
in there. When the Square in Canton, it's about 30 years ago when the Square in Canton came on, late 90s. He
Yeah.
lived about. So then on like Friday, I saw that Ron and his partner had bought Waltz In. I saw Ron a week and a half ago at Fadley's because Clue was playing at the Hippodrome, and we
Yeah.
were at the Fadley's, where I'm going to be on Friday giving away Pac-Man scratch. This is the Baltimore thing. So I see
Exactly.
Ron. He didn't say anything to me about Waltz In. He didn't say anything about karaoke. He didn't say anything about you. He said, "Hey, well, I can get you cheap tickets for Clue. It's a good show." So he gave me that. And so nobody tells me anything. So I got to get Ron on now to talk about Waltz In. I've had you on talking about LLS. We haven't even gotten to Accelerant yet. And is Black your go? Or you look more like you would do some Beyonce to me, or some
Oh,
Whitney
no.
Houston
So
or something.
Black is my husband's go-to song.
Okay.
It's a song that I love, don't get me wrong, but I rock some Alanis Morissette Uninvited. That's my go-to karaoke song.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you are trying to entice me out to give to. So how does this work if I come sing for karaoke, $20 wheels and stuff? How am I going to make a fool of myself on Thursday night and contribute to
Well,
Cate
Nestor,
Paris's LLS Visionary Woman of the Year thing?
if you come out, you specifically, I will give people the opportunity to donate a certain amount of money and choose the song that you sing.
It's just like putting me in the dunking wheel. They've tried
Yes.
that before at the
Yes.
Ravens convention. See, what little do you know is I really can sing. So like I sang in a band. So I'm a karaoke, like I would be good at karaoke. I've never really done it publicly, I guess.
Oh, it is a karaoke, and this is again like one of my I didn't realize that hosting a karaoke party was a bucket list item, but apparently it was. I'm so happy to get to do this. I love karaoke and just the friendliness and supportive atmosphere in a karaoke bar. It's unmatched. You can't
Is
go
it
into any
supportive
other
or
kind of
will it
bar.
go Don Rickles on me? How do you feel?
What was that? I couldn't hear.
Will it be supportive, or is it going to go Don Rickles
Oh,
on me?
they're gonna raise you up above their heads and chant your name. It's gonna be the most
Can I
supportive
do
ever.
an Engelbert Humperdinck song or something like that,
Yes,
or no? Can I do Please Release Me or something like that?
absolutely.
Cate Paris is our guest. She is with Accelerent, which
Yes.
we will get to that in a minute. We've meandered here. The Leukemia Lymphoma Society, they used to call this Man and Woman of the
Hmm.
Year. And I did 2 full segments with them. One when they were really trying to twist my arm at Costas last fall about being they Johnny Bravo'd me. I don't know how they got you, but they frame me up and they're like, "You fit the suit. You're
Right?
visionary."
They
You
were
know, they
hiding behind bushes as you walked home and like jumping out and asking you to do
Yeah,
it.
but this event is Saturday night. It's at the Renaissance. It's downtown. My girl Ultra is performing across the street, so I'm going to sneak in and sneak out over to the Inner Harbor. People say I don't go back to the city. I'm in the city all the time. So Saturday night, we have a huge event. We have 4 contestants, proponents, designated
Yeah.
like
Awesome
money.
people.
Yeah, people like you,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. So this is the culmination of all of our campaigns, and each one of us ran a completely different campaign. And a lot of it is the behind the scenes stuff of calling upon our network, asking for help, letting people know the good that they're accomplishing for seriously any amount. It doesn't have to be give all the money, like any amount is huge. So this is the culmination. This is the celebration of everyone's efforts of acknowledging what we've done and who we've been able to help. We have 2 honored heroes that are survivors and fighters, and they're going to be there as we honor them. The people who are important to us and have been a huge part of each of our campaigns will be there. And this is the final evening to just really to lean in and raise that final boost of money to help promote and further the mission.
I tell you what, I'm going to find the picture of my wife and I attending the event 10 years ago. The event was down in near Rundle Mills on that particular. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful event. I mean, like a lot of music, but my wife, it was a really dark time in our life. She had just missed her transplant because she had gotten sick
Yeah.
and went to this event the week before her transplant. And I have pictures and all that, but it's going to be a celebration for us because we saw the Stones the other night. My wife was jamming with Mick. So we're not feeling like sad and down and dour, more like, look at how far we've come through all of
Yeah.
this. So for my wife, this is going to be a special night on Saturday night. It's actually also the night after her birthday. Her birthday's Friday night. So I want everybody to support our
Yay.
friends at Leukemia Lymphoma Society. If you want to support Cate, you can certainly do that on Thursday night. You can come down to Waltz Inn. That's Waltz with an apostrophe S in
Yeah.
Canton, and you can sing some. I don't know. They'll probably let you sing some Lady Gaga or something like that if you wish. Maybe
All the
Cate and
things.
I will do a Neil Diamond, Barbra Streisand duet or something like that for $20 a throw. Who knows? So this is the final countdown. It's your last event. How did the hot wings thing go? I mean, did anybody burn their I mean, who won that thing? There's no winners in
So
that kind of contest, I assure you.
So we gave away 2 awards. They were all champions. They all made it through all 10 wings, which is amazing. And we had, so each of them were competing against themselves. Attendees could donate to LLS in the name of whichever contestant they were rooting for. So Karen Shell, the president of DP Solutions, ended up being our Fire Wings and Icebreakers champion. She raised the most money in her name. And Rich Kraft actually was the Fire Wings winner when it comes to completely polishing off each of the wings to the bone.
Yeah, I don't do hot wings, man. There's just some things I don't do. I don't do spicy. I just and listen, and I'm Latin and like no, I don't do that. I would be much more apt to sing some Dean Martin or to try to entertain in some way like that. Cate Paris is our guest. It's Cate with a
Yeah.
C-A-T-E and Paris like Paris. My
Yeah.
wife had some Parisian desserts in New York. Here's my tip for the day for you. 37th Street and 6th Avenue is a place called Les Marveleux. I'm pronouncing it wrong because I'm not French,
Oh
but
no, it sounded
it's
perfectly French.
marvelous. They're called marvelous. They're these little marvelous clouds of deliciousness. So that's the only thing Parisian I have. The event is Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's down at the Renaissance. We have not promoted Accelerant. So let's stop all of this. Let's not be nice and man of the year and visionary and all that. Let's talk business for a minute, because I've been involved in Accelerant. I mean, oh my, almost from the beginning, going back 15 years, and with Michael Gordon and different friends, and John. I've had so many friends through this. You're not new to this, but a little bit new to me, and I don't even know your whole background and how so many nice people get involved in this Accelerant event. I know Bill Cole dragged me in years ago, and once you get dragged in, you can't get dragged out, because it's such a great group of people doing good work here in the community.
Yeah. Now, Accelerant is, I joke that I drank the Accelerant Kool-Aid a long time ago. I just love it. And as the regional vice president, it affords me a job. My career is helping companies connect with each other, helping decision makers grow and strengthen and build relationships with other decision makers, so that when they are out in the wild, as I like to call it, as they recognize somebody who has a need for the services of an Accelerant partner, they can make that warm introduction and get them in the door warmer faster than they could on their own. There's no more cold calling. It's all, who do you know? Who can I help you with? I mean, Accelerant partners, anyone you meet who's an Accelerant partner at any networking event anywhere, they're one of the first questions they'll ask you is, how can I help you? So Accelerant is just
And part of that is when you're
65
in
amazing
Accelerant, you get to
companies helping
invite
each
people
other.
to meet other people.
Yeah.
And that's really the kind of the beautiful part of it. Anytime I go to networking events anywhere in town, and I've done many of them, I've hosted them before and spoken and been on this and that, and in the front room, when my hair was short, whatever. There really is a point where, especially in a community like Baltimore, because I was in New York the other day, I'm like, how does anybody meet anybody here? We were out in Vegas last week, and
Yeah.
out in LA, and I'm like, how do you meet anybody when you're in Los Angeles? It's like everything's a freeway. Here, I spoke of Smaltimore, and just in the
Mhm.
beginning, I don't know you all that well. I mean, we've seen each other by the by. It's
Yeah.
the first time I've really had you on the show. You asked me a little bit about the people I connected with last month, but I don't know that you knew that my wife was a two-time survivor, that we attended this event 10 years ago. I know the Guilford people and the Wing people, and then you're like, Waltz In. I'm like, Waltz In, that's Ron's place. My buddy lived upstairs there. We're going to do karaoke there for LLS. Oh my. And there really is a small to more connection amongst all of us. And I think
Yeah.
it makes things like Accelerant even that much more effective. In the old days, and I don't want to be disrespectful because you're a girl and I'm a guy, I'd say, I got a guy for that. Do you know a guy? Yeah, I got a plumber. Yeah, I got a refrigerator. Yeah, I got an HVAC. I got a roofer. It was always, yeah, I got a guy for that. Now it's more like, we know people here in the community that are trusted resources that aren't really a cab ride. They're a relationship. And it's not about, do I have a roofer that's going to put a roof on my house for a fee? It's, do I want that relationship? And I think
Yes.
when I speak about Accelerant and I speak about people, and I'm embarrassed. I don't have my Cole Roofing mug because I'm out of coffee. It's
For shame.
you and I did this segment too. We did a brunch segment. Had we done a coffee segment, I'd have the Cole Roofing mug here with the Royal Farms. But Cole Roofing being one of those partners and many
Yeah.
other people, it's just led to a richness of relationship as a business owner, which I've been for 32 years now here locally. There's nothing like finding trusted people in
Yeah.
the community that you 10, 15, 20 years later, them, their kids, your family. It makes a big city a small town.
It absolutely does. You're so right.
You don't have anything else to say about Accelerant? Did I just give the elevator speech?
No, I love hearing other people talk about Accelerant, especially when they've lived it, they've breathed it. You know so many Accelerant partners and how warm they are and how they will do anything to help others. And I'll also share that, that's from the decision maker, the owner's perspective for their teams. I mean, it's a great resource for professional development and growth, and especially if they're in the process of building and expanding their network or just having access to other phenomenal professionals.
People who need people are
Yeah.
the luckiest people in the. See,
You need to be at this karaoke event.
see that? I knew that. Cate Paris is here. She's from Accelerant. She is running for and hopes to be the visionary of the year.
Yeah.
Does that sound better? Does that sound more powerful than woman of the year?
Oh, I prefer it, definitely.
Okay. I don't know, man. Man of the year sounds so Jimmy Stewart to me. It sounds so Father Knows Best. That visionary of the year, it almost sounds too Branson-y for me. It almost sounds too hip for me. But we are doing visionary of the year. It is Saturday night. It's at the Renaissance. If you need tickets, you want to buy a table, you want to donate, you want to come sing, you want to support other contestants, feel free to do so. It's all for the greatest cause. And my wife's in the other room, and I always talk about the research and had she contracted leukemia back in 78, as they would say, or a long
Yeah.
time ago, how much different her pathway would have been. And she's alive and well, and we're going to dance together and celebrate together.
Heck yeah.
And so are you confident you're going to win, or no? What do you
Well,
think?
I will say at the end of the day, and going into it, everybody thinks like, oh, it'd be great to win. Honestly, the more involved I got in this and the many stories that I heard and the people that I've met, like just being able to participate, it sounds so cliche, but just being able to participate in this and make it a dynamic campaign and bring more people into this than I ever anticipated. Like I've already won. So I just get to be in a fancy dress and if I get named that, fantastic. But if not, I am so excited for whoever is named.
I am afraid of sharing the page out on the screenshot because it says underneath, do you know the next visionary of the year nominated candidate? And not me, not me. Don't nominate me. That's what I told the folks at LLS, but I'm happy to promote it. I'm happy to come and sing,
Yeah,
dance,
yeah.
give, eat, drink, promote, yell about it on the radio and everywhere that I do this socially. Big thanks to everyone at LLS for involving me and the junior visionaries and involving Cate and the other contestants on Saturday. Good luck to you. Good
Thanks
luck.
very much.
Sing in tune and on key on Thursday night
Oh,
at
always.
Waltz Inn. And Ron, I'm looking for you. You're buying bars in East Baltimore. You don't tell me about it with a karaoke machine. You better have some Engelbert Humperdinck on that. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570 Towson, Baltimore. It is a beautiful spring post Memorial Day week. We got Orioles, we got Ravens, we got stuff, and we've got charities, including the LLS event on Saturday night. Stay with us. We're Baltimore Positive.